Hi, this is Chris Bayaki with Resolute Philanthropy. I want to talk today about a fundraising mistake that I used to make a lot, and maybe you've made it too. And that mistake was making the decision on behalf of my donors. And here's how it would show up. It would show up when things in the world were unstable, or scary, or crazy, and I would say something to the effect of, well, now's not a good time to ask so and so for a gift, so let's just move on. Right? Maybe the stock market was going in the wrong direction, or maybe there was a war or a natural disaster or a slow motion collapse of democracy as we know it. Either way, there was something going on that made me say, we shouldn't ask this person for a gift right now. And ultimately, what that was doing was making the decision for my donor. I was deciding that they weren't going to give because I wasn't going to ask them. Now, you can see the problem inherent in this, right? Like, if we make these decisions for our donors, we're not really valuing the relationship. Um, we're also probably turning away money that they might be ready to give. And I think if we think about donor behavior during COVID, we saw a lot of donors step up their generosity. And a lot of donors say things like, oh, this is a really difficult time for you guys. I'm going to try to help what I can. Now, certainly some people said, no, I can't give right now, and that's okay. It's not about avoiding a no. We can't live our lives in fear of getting a rejection. If that is a real triggering thing for you, fundraising is going to be really difficult. But assuming there's going to be a no before we got one is not doing us any favors either. So I really encourage nonprofits to think closely when they have that thought. I can't ask this person for a gift now because of whatever reason. Are you responding to something they've said, or are you responding to something you think? And then I encourage you to really think, well, what does this organization, what does this mission need most right now? Do we need support from our community? Or do we need to avoid a difficult or challenging conversation? By asking these questions, by really thinking about this way, I think we can do more for and with our donors. I'll also say, as a sidebar, I attended the AFP Icon Conference and sat in a session where they did this really deep study of mid-range donors, mid-level donors, donors giving between $1,000 and just under $10,000. And one of the really interesting facts was they asked these donors if they would continue giving to an organization if there was economic uncertainty, if there was political upheaval, if there were all these like bad things happening. And huge numbers of them said, yeah, I would keep giving. I will keep giving. I think the data is starting to tell us that donors are more loyal and more committed to the cause than we may be giving them credit for. So if you're out there and find yourself or maybe find your board members or your leadership team making decisions on behalf of your donors, I really encourage you to take a break, take a step back, and really think about that. And try to figure out, are you really avoiding a difficult conversation, or have they actually said, I'm not going to give? Because I think if we're really serious about bringing people in relationship with us and in community with our mission, that means asking them to help, even when times are scary, especially when times are scary. Let me know if you have any questions, and let me know if this is a fundraising mistake that you've made in your career. And obviously, I would love to talk to you and your organization about your fundraising and ways you can avoid mistakes like these and engage your donors to support your organization in a real joyful, full-throated manner. So that's it for now. Keep up the great work, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.